Hi everyone, I'm Isaiah Smith, and welcome to my new podcast. For 4 years, I've been doing entertainment videos called play-alongs with my Jesse Mac, Colloquially 9, and so much more. And now I'm bringing all of my play-along friends together to share their stories on how they discovered the play-alongs, how they started their own series, and so much more. I'm Isaiah Smith, and welcome to my new podcast, Tales of Play-alongs. Hello, everybody. I'm Isaiah Smith, and welcome to a long-awaited plus a final episode of my podcast, Tales of Play-alongs. The reason why I say final episode is because personal life has been in the way, and I obviously didn't have the time to get some more guests for the show, and so this is why this is going to be my final episode. So for the final episode of Tales of Play-alongs, I have, just like my Jesse Mac, an energetic legend. Please give a warm welcome to Jaylan Glover.
Hello, everybody. It's so nice to be here. Isaiah, thank you so much for having me, dude. I'm looking forward to this.
So, Jaylan, before we get started, tell everyone about yourself.
Where do I begin? Well, of course, I am 25 years old. I'm going to be 26 next month. Growing up, I was a big fan of Barney and stuff, so when I first saw Jason's channel, I was hyped because it was like you were playing along with the show, and that's something I've always wanted to do, something I've been doing since I was a kid. And since I first met you and the rest of the Play Along gang, it's just been nothing but energy and love, and I really enjoy it. I love to draw. I love to sing. I love to dance, play instruments. I'm still learning some things here and there, but overall, that's about it. Oh, and just get this out the way. I am autistic. I am on the autism spectrum. I have Asperger's syndrome. I just try not to let it show that much. So in a way, I'm kind of taking control of it. I'm not letting that take control of my life, nor am I going to let my condition define me in a way. So that's practically it.
So to those who haven't seen Jason's channel, Jaylan's debut was actually on not a Barney play-along, but let's just say a special series he does, which is Hip Hop Harry. And Jaylan, would you mind telling us about that experience?
It was something, I'll tell you. I was so nervous, and the first time I filmed my shot, it was in my living room with a big TV in the background, and I didn't really know that much. I was just rolling along with it. At first I watched the episode that Jason asked me to do with him. I watched it over and over, and I tried improvising some stuff, and most of it throughout the entire thing, it was improv, but in some cases it was easy to follow along. Of course, I was super grateful because it's Jason. I've seen this dude like way before I even met him, and I don't remember which year it was, but the first time I saw this dude, it had to be when he did a release to Barney Live in New York City, the second release. That was the very first time I ever saw Jason's play-alongs. And since then, it was just a roller coaster. I've always told myself I always wanted to be in this dude's play-alongs and stuff. It's just so sick. And now here I am actually in them. So yeah, it's literally a dream come true. So for that experience, it was awesome.
So like when you first met Jason, have you ever told him about like what Barney videos you grew up watching?
Oh, I think we talked. I think we did talk. Going off of my memory here, I do remember telling him about the Barney videos I grew up watching. Of course, Barney Live in New York City was one of them. I had that one on that one on VHS, along with Barney's Musical Castle, the stage show, Barney's Good Day, Good Night, Walk Around the Block with Barney, um, Barney's Camp Wanna Run Around. I got so many. I got a whole list. But yeah, we did talk about the Barney videos that I grew up watching as a kid, and it was phenomenal.
And and funny you mentioned Camp Water Run because around 2022, when I got introduced to Jaylan, he told me that he was a big guy for Camp Water Run Around. So I thought, why not add him to play along to that on my channel, which I obviously released, so you guys can go check that out there. From what he said to me in the shot, he was just not only energetic, but remembered the songs, lines, etc. You could tell he obviously grew up with that video.
Yeah, I really did. It was one of the very first few Barney videos I watched as a kid, along with Barney's Good Day, Good Night, and Barney's Adventure Bus. Those top three were the VHS tapes that I watched so many times I could practically remember almost every single line. So yeah, they really had a special place in my heart.
And speaking of play-alongs, you guys are actually going to get the first list of this, but another play-along with Jaylan is coming your way on my channel pretty soon, which is Walk Around the Block with Barney, which is, I think, another favorite of Jaylan's. Is that right?
It is. Yes, it is. It definitely is. The songs and the whole thing about it, it's just too much fun. And I get way too energetic when it comes to that Barney video. Oh man.
So it is in the it is in the process at the moment, but just so know when to release it because of like editing issues. But don't worry, it'll still be coming. And I have some more play-alongs for Jaylan involved in the upcoming future. And let me tell you, I told them what they are, and he is really excited for them. No matter what it is, he's always excited for it. So tell us about like when you watched Barney's Live in New York City with Jason.
Oh, okay. So this was a couple years ago. This was back when I was living in Chicago, a good couple years back. So right now I'm living in Florida. So back when I was living in Chicago, I first saw Jason's play along to Barney Live in New York City, the second release. And while I was watching it, I just imagined myself being in the cast, you know. And what really got me excited was that, you know, Jason was playing his guitar. And that reminded me of how much I always wanted to play guitar. I still have my guitar, it's in my closet. And it was when I think that was when I commented on his video for the first time. And I commented to him about his guitar. And I thought maybe one day we could work together and stuff. And after that, I just never stopped watching his videos.
So like that was a couple years ago, but like ever since you saw that experience, you wasn't like one of those people that was like comfortable of going forward to Jason all that stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I knew in my mind, I knew it was probably not gonna happen. So of course I didn't pressure the guy. It was just I was watching the videos and that was the only time I commented on one of his stuff. And after that, I just left it alone because I was thinking maybe I shouldn't put too much pressure on him. I don't want to annoy anybody. I don't want to make him feel uncomfortable. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. I'm a perfectly chill type of person. If someone needs time, then I give them time. And if someone doesn't feel comfortable, I let them be. So I didn't just go forward to Jason about this idea. I slowly let it build up. And on the day that I actually met him, then we started talking more and more. And we started finding we had a lot of stuff in common. And then next thing I know, he asked me to be a part of the play along gang. And I was just overwhelmed with joy because I was such a big fan of this dude. So yeah, I after not bothering him and actually taking the time to get to know Jason, everything just clicked.
And let me tell you, not only Jaylan does video work, he also does voiceover work, because if you haven't seen Jason's trailer to Barney's Big Surprise, which is switching out on YouTube, you can go check it out. He actually did the narration for the trailer.
Yep, that was me. And it was so much fun. That's the first time I ever seen anyone use my voice for like a trailer and stuff. It was the very first time I ever seen that. And the fact that it went so well, I was completely ecstatic. And plus, after talking with Jason about it, he said that I am an understudy. So in case something goes wrong, they come to me. In case if I want to do voiceover work, and I am absolutely open for it. Absolutely.
So, when did you first got into the voiceover work?
Actually, I've been a fan of the voiceover work for a long time. Not essentially voiceover stuff, but voice acting. I've watched a lot of cartoons and watched a lot of animated shows on Netflix, Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, Disney. I paid attention to a lot of how most voice actors would do their work, and I even have a book here at home that talks to me about that teaches me about voice acting. So I go over that a little bit, and I kind of practice a lot every day how I would interpret these characters. Like, for example, if I'm watching a movie, I would have my remote, I would press mute, and I would practice going over the lines of a specific character and see how my voice would sound. And usually I would really get into character. Like if I'm mad, if I'm sad, if I'm like depressed or any other emotion, these people would try to interpret in their characters and see where it goes from there. But yeah, as in regards to the voice acting thing or voiceover work, I've been a fan of it for a long time.
So, what else? What else? Oh, so not only you've seen my work and Jason's work, but what do you think of Ryan Boyd's and Christopher Chan's work on play-alongs?
Oh, they're great. They're absolutely great. I watch as many as I possibly can for Ryan. I believe he did a play along to Barney's Barney Goes to School, and that was from way back in the day. And for Chris, he did a play along to one of my favorite shows growing up. If you're familiar with Playhouse Disney, there was this show called Bear in the Big Blue House, and Chris did a play along to Bear in the Big Blue House live. And since I saw that, I'm like, oh, this is so sick. So yeah, I really enjoyed that one. Both of them do a phenomenal job with their work. Phenomenal.
Now here's something else I want to ask. What is it? Oh, so if there was another play along of your favorite Barney video that you absolutely want to do in the whole entire world, what would it be?
Oh, Oh man, that's a question. To be honest, oh man, I got so many. But the number one thing I would love to be a part of, it's gonna have to be a play along to Barney's musical Castle, the stage show. And it was something that, well, let me tell you this. Barney's Musical Castle was one of the very, very first Barney VHS tapes I had as a kid, and I love that one so much. And coming from a guy who's a big fan of medieval times and Middle Earth, I'm talking like castles, knights, princesses, dragons, all that stuff, and seeing the Barney show of it in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, this is just too cool. So, and I was obsessed with that video as a kid, man, obsessed. So yeah, if I was given the opportunity to do that one, I would gladly take it, gladly.
Wow, you obviously must be a guy that loves medieval times a lot.
Actually, yeah. It's something that I've grown close to. You know, well, a lot of other stuff too. I mean, not just medieval times, but I'm also a big fan of like outer space and stars and planets. And I'm hoping that I get to study astrology. You know, I mean, astronomy. I mean, not astrology, astronomy, the study of planets, stars, and other things in the solar system. So yeah, uh, medieval times, outer space, anything that has to do with that stuff. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Speaking of outer space, you should go check out Jaylan's appearance in Jason's comeback to Barney in Outer Space.
Yeah, that one was fun. That one was a lot of fun. And I'm gonna give a tiny tease there for those who are fans of Star Trek. There is a Star Trek reference in that play along. So if y'all want to see it, definitely go check that out on Jason's channel. That was so much fun to do.
And ever since I watched that play log, there's been a line that's always been stuck in my head.
Really?
Hey, Ryan, that's the little girl, all right.
Look, let me tell you something, man. That was so on the fly with me. That was so on the fly. Like I'm looking at everything. I'm like, wait a minute. So I had to come up with something real quick because it was on the spot. But overall, I had too much fun, man. I had too much fun. And fun fact, the tablet you see me holding, that's my tablet. And I had an actual star chart of actual constellations and stars on it. So that goes to show you that I'm a really big fan of outer space.
So, oh, great. No, I'll stuck my head again.
What? Just go ahead and say it.
No. It's the line again.
Oh, okay.
And did you know in probably from the second or first release, Jason actually did references to Jaws the ride. Because if some of you because some of you haven't known, there was like a ride based on the movie Jaws, and Jason actually used some references in the audio from that to add it for himself in those releases.
Jaws the ride? I would have never guessed that.
Yeah, I actually tried to do it myself, but it wasn't that great as Jason's. But when I do another release in the future, I'm definitely gonna give it another try.
Jaws the ride. Who would have thought? I probably would have never paid attention to it. I would have never known. I mean that Good on that boy. He is smart.
So, so Jaylan, do you have any final words or thank yous or anything?
Yeah, sure. I just want to say, well, of course, thank you, Isaiah, for inviting me here and talking with you and having a good conversation. Um, and I'm gonna say this: it's not easy for me. It really isn't. Mainly because as someone who has not really been that close to people who are like me, it was kind of hard for me to open myself up. But overall, I'm grateful that I got to meet you. I got to meet Ryan, Chris, and of course Jason. You guys are like my brothers, so it makes me feel good to finally be myself around you guys because it's not that easy for me to like come out in the open, because I've dealt with a lot of. I'm not going to get into the details, but I've dealt with a lot of prejudice things in the past, and the fact that I could actually be myself, I could feel happy, I could feel comfortable. That really makes me happy. It really does, and it puts me at ease, so I don't have to worry about being judged. For and in regards to like final thoughts, um, just if I'm just going to be completely honest with you, if anyone is telling you that you don't have a place anywhere or you don't really like fit in, I mean, who are they to judge? They don't know you. They don't. I mean, they don't know how you think. They don't know what you go through, and it may be a lot more difficult than others. So, if you're trying your best to fit in, don't try too hard. Just be yourself, literally, and it'll go a long way in the long run.
Amen, brother. Amen. All right, everyone. I'm Isaiah Smith. This is Jaylan Glover. Thank you to all of those who were really supportive for my attempted podcast here play alongs over the past year. Again, I'm really sorry I couldn't try to get more guests on the show. Personal life has been in the way, and Jaylan, I just want to say thank you to all of those who were not only participated in the show, but to those who watched as well. So from me as a fan, I am so grateful for all of you, and I'll see you all very soon.